Oh, my old Kentucky home. Welcome on in. HMG Hamin Media Group here on YouTube. Hamin Army. Got the call out there. Hope to get some people here in the chat. Little last minute Derby on down party with your host, yours truly, the one and only, that R to the B to the V, Richard Bronson Vickery. Getting settled in just under an hour away from the fastest 2 minutes in sports. What a grand celebration it is. A little slice of Americana. The 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. Then we're going to get settled in here. We got some grub. We got some drinks. Going to have a lot of fun. Talk about the rich traditions. The ponies themselves. Again, all that is involved with this grand event. Churchill Downs, Louisville, Kentucky. The Kentucky Derby. They get settled in. Join us here about the next hour. Yeah, give us a like, give us a share. Copy that link. Hit your socials. Everybody know that you're here, hanging out with us. Hope to have some run-in from some of the other talking head personalities here with the HMG. If not, hey, we're going to have a lot of fun. Just me, myself, and then everybody over in the chat. There's nobody in yet. Again, a little last minute. I was doing a lot of the podcasts and this afternoon. It occurred to me, you know what? Let's have a little fun here tonight. Hang out, getting it done. There we go. We're getting some in the chat. Welcome in to our Derby on down party for the Kentucky Derby. Just under an hour away. Absolutely looking forward to this thing. One of my favorite events of the year. Celebrating a little bit differently this year. Usually at this time, hell, I'd be nuzzled up to the bar somewhere for a couple hours, settled in, having a great time. Trying something different. Hey, we are going to have a blast here. Doing it with a little watch along here with the Hamin Media Group. Got it on the big screen just above me here at Command Central. Southern Ohio here in the Cincinnati tri-state. We have been getting pounded by those storms, I understand, just really throughout the Midwest, all the way up to Hamin's neck of the woods in upstate New York. And that holds just as true in Louisville, Kentucky. They've had showers throughout the day, calling for more. It's good. Post time, 6:57. Looks like they've got some showers coming down as we're speaking here. It is going to be an absolute mutter, baby. Look at that track, man. It is filthy, which is going to make for an exciting race. It just completely changes the dynamic for these field of 3-year-old thoroughbreds looking to bring home that grand prize, the first leg on the Triple Crown to get this major horse racing season started here in the States. Again, the Kentucky Derby 151st running, a little under an hour away. My boy, Scotty Woodford. And now, Scotty, are you one of the sponsors here? Because this year's Kentucky Derby, sponsored by Woodford Reserve. Sky, what are you sipping on over there, brother? I know you're up to some good things today, man. Awesome share on that Karrion Cross special that he released. A great watch. You're going to finish watching that later. You check that out on YouTube, man. About 45 minutes to take you into the mastermind of Karrion Cross, WWE superstar, doing some great things there. That's where Scotty over in the chat. Fresh back from his trip out to Vegas, where he was at WrestleMania taking in all the festivities. Of course, Vegas, the betting central capital of the world. And speaking of big bets, big time money being exchanged, that's what the Derby is about here. Kaz, my brother, how you doing, man? Thanks a lot. I know you're at home still doing some laundry, hanging out with the kiddos, having a blast this Saturday afternoon. But talk about these bets. Just the Derby race. So there's tons of other races outside of the Kentucky Kentucky Derby itself, but that they have. I believe they try to get like 14 in today. There's been a big festival all weekend long with different races, but just for the Kentucky Derby, we're talking over $200 million in wagers are going to be placed. Of course, here as we tune in, hey, if you guys want to watch along, obviously because of trademark rights, woo, geez, old Pete, man, they got to interview one of the jockeys here, number 8, his wife, Stacked to Louisville and back. Looking good. Got the family there. Hoping Dad brings home a big win. But what the hell was I saying? I looked up and boom. Oh. And if you want to watch along out there, obviously I can't air the actual race here on the channel, but NBC Sports, wherever you get your distribution there, if that's through your local NBC affiliate or their sports platforms, they're going to have this thing available. Right now, we are on the home stretch. No pun intended here. The fastest 2 minutes in all of sports. So exciting. We're going to talk about the field. We're going to talk about some of the traditions, some of the cultures down there in the heart of Kentucky. They're bringing them out. Coming up, the Kentucky Derby Walker, where they're bringing the horses out here. They're getting their feel of the land. And it has been pouring down rain there. Absolute mutter, baby. I do appreciate you guys. Got Scotty Woodford. He's sipping on that Wheatley vodka. True and Blue to his boys. That's Cody's, right? Our clip master Kaz, part of the generals for the Hamin Army. Zane Vicious, the comment king in the house. Guys, give me help it out, man. Hit that share button, copy that link, hit your socials. Let everybody know we're here. We're getting settled in. 6:57 scheduled post time. I think they're going to try to get on that to beat that rain that's scheduled to come through in the Louisville area. Here we go. Hamin with a message here. What's he? Let me send him a message here if it has time to jump on. Post time is 6:57 East. All right, Santa I know he's dealing with stuff. He just got home from work, man. Busy day up there at Ravens Joint. Might be expecting Jimmy T to be joining us. So, put it out there to Vet, who spent some time there in Louisville. Actually got some calls to some people out in Louisville. A little last minute, but hopefully maybe somebody would be joining us here. But looking forward to this. Yeah, but I'm talking these big time bets, man. 200 million from spectators going to be wagered on today's upcoming race. For the winners, we've got a field 20 or so. I got to look at the scratches. I know they had 20 there. I'm assuming there's going to be some scratches. We're going to run down their names, their odds, maybe who you like, who you betting on. All right. Ben's got puppy duty. And going to get some rest for work tomorrow. So that's all. Won't be joining us, but he's going to be watching along. 5 million that goes to the winner today. Fastest 2 minutes, 5 million. But don't make it just sound like it's just 2 minutes of work. I mean, these from finding these young horses to raising them to training them, these horses are absolute royalty. But the big payoff here, 5 million. But really, where these owners of these teams are going to make their money is in the breeding rights. These studs, especially if you can win this thing, baby, they want that horse juice. Hit me with your horse juice. That's all in those breeding rights, and of course picking up those big old sponsors there. Scotty Woodford saying I random picked on DraftKings. Well, let's jump into it here, guys. Let's talk about some of these horses. I got them keyed up here for our field here. Let me make sure I got the right one of the 2025 Kentucky Derby. We got our entries here. All right, we got the field. All right, we'll check it. These are always awesome names too. If one of these names pop out, you love them. Hey, that's usually how I went by placing my bets on these things. Is what name did I get a feel for? The hell with the odds, the hell with the trainer, the hell with the resume, the statistics, how impressive they are. It's just about a catch. It's about the gimmick, right? It's about the gimmick. It's about the ring name. How cool? How are you going to get over with that bad boy? But we have got Citizen Bull, 20-1 odds. Neocoys, I guess I'm saying that right. That's a 30-1 horse there. Final Gambit, 30-1. The American Promise. You got to like that, man. Like the American Nightmare. The American Promise, 30-1. Admire Daytona, another 30-1. Luxor Cafe, 30-1. Here's one of the favorites. Just a tremendous little feature on this pony here, coming from California, surviving some of those wildfires. Journalism, 3-1. Burnham Square, 12-1. The Flying Mohawk, baby. That would be a good wrestling name, the Flying Mohawk. Maybe a cool tag team name, the Flying Mohawks. 30-1. Hey, where you live at? Where you from? Down on East Avenue. Yeah, East Avenue, 20-1 odds. It's not the Punisher, but the Publisher, 20-1. Tistastic, 20-1. Representing Judgment Day at 30-1. We got Render Judgment. That's a 30-1. Cole Battle, 30-1. Cole Battle actually was picked by Simone Biles, who is the Grand Marshal for this year's Kentucky Derby. Watch our cool story on this next horse. My Old Kentucky Home, the official song of the Kentucky Derby. We'll kind of step aside for a little rock and roll. This team's owner, the entire team themselves, inspired by Metallica. So they have dubbed their pony the Sandman, and at 6-1. And they're the Sandman. I wonder if it's going to make that long entrance. The horse out there with the kendo stick, pounding a couple brewskis, smoking a cigarette on that long run around the track. Next, we got Severity at 5-1. Here's a good one here for a Derby winner name. Chunk of Gold. Ethan West going to be on that pony at 30-1. Owen Almighty. The Almighty. Owen Almighty, 30-1. Beza, a 12-1. And I think that's an alternative there. And we did have some scratches there. Rodriguez and Grande out of this thing. But our first rundown, any of those names jump out to you, let me know, man. It was the Sandman might be it. Then I figured you'd be going with the Sandman there. Or just going with the odds. You just laying it all down there on the odds, hoping for the big payoff. Thanks to everybody joining us here again. About 20 after 6:17, 6:57 scheduled post time. They're doing their walk right now. If you're watching along, NBC Sports, get your local affiliate there or their sports platforms. Yeah, you got all the owners, the trainers, the teams out there, jockeys, making their walk, getting things going. This track is a disaster. You talk about an absolute mutter. This is going to be fun to watch. The strategy, very unique in this. You want explosive and you want speed out of the gate here. Give yourself that head start. Get that distance, not just for the early get-go, but what you can do there with those horses that have that explosiveness, that have that early speed, that power, is you're kicking up all that mud behind you. So you're in the face of those jockeys. You are covering those horses. You are slowing down that competition early on to try to give yourself the edge down the track. You know, 1.25 miles is what we're doing here. Again, Dub, the fastest, the quickest 2 minutes in all of sports. Absolutely edge of your seat, excitement when this thing gets going. 151 years that they've been bringing this thing to us. From Churchill Downs, Louisville, Kentucky, just down the road for I'm sitting here in the great state of the OHIO, Cincinnati Tri-State. Of course, Louisville. We're here on the HMG channel. Wrestling so important to us, but you know our pros. A lot of them spent a lot of time in Louisville, Kentucky, home of Ohio Valley Wrestling. So these guys, been Vet, Beast, Silvio. They all know what it's about down there. How big of a deal the Derby is. It is so cool to see this, the parade, the owners, the teams, the horses now making their way around the track there. We'll walk through that mutter. And it's just not about today. They have been there all week. These great traditions that are a part of the festivities. We'll talk a little bit. One of the cool ones, and this goes back. I was kind of researching this. Is I just again last minute to hop on here, talk a little derby, party on down with everybody. But the ladies, this is a sophisticated outing for all walks of society. Everybody dressed to the nines, putting on their best. No matter what class you come from, you want to be looking good. Derby day, a little damper Derby day styling and profiling. But the hats, the ladies, they wear these elaborate, just gorgeous, beautiful hats. Kind of like the peacocks showing off there. We got a couple of them here. You see those everywhere. If you're tuning in, you see those throughout the crowd. Yeah, the big, unique, beautiful, decorated hats that they have. Hey, and of course, it is a party, absolute party on down. So you got to have your cocktails, man. The official drink of the Kentucky Derby, the mint julep. Delicious, delicious beverage there. Nice and refreshing there down in Kentucky for the Derby. And of course, while you're in Kentucky, especially for a big event like the Derby, you got to get the official dish of the state of Kentucky, and that is that open-faced turkey sandwich, smothered in your favorites. Got your cheese, your veggies, throw some other proteins on there. Open-faced turkey, the Kentucky Hot Brown, credit being vetted at the Brown Hotel there. I believe in Louisville, possibly Lexington. I have to look that back up, but talking to the trainers here, some of the favorites as they're making their walk on the track. Derby Day, the greatest spectacles in sports here in the United States. Hoping to join us because Jimmy T, he seemed interested to see, down in Australia. They're big on horse racing. It's one of their biggest sporting holidays. They kind of shut everything down for their version kind of the Kentucky Derby. He was telling me about it after we concluded the Smack Attack this afternoon. Hey, guys, if it's still available here on YouTube when we're done here, give that a listen to. It was a little fun today. Hey, in wrestling, got to work on the fly. It's not everything doesn't always go your way. That was the case today in the Smack Attack. Jimmy had some major technical malfunctions there. His system decided to do an update. We were about 2 minutes into the show, so I'm flying on my own. MSG does a run in to help out, so we end up we get things back on track with the three of us. We had a great conversation about a lot of the headlines. Some good conversation about the headlines happening. The recent WWE future endeavors, we kind of talked about, no surprise there, what it means, business strategies, things like that. Of the headlines, though, what really got me was the new Hulk Hogan, the Real American Freestyle Wrestling promotion that him and Bischoff have announced. And I immediately, when I saw the vignettes, the announcement, the promos, I was turned off immediately. I didn't think there was a shot in hell. Even before this thing's gotten off the ground, that it would work, that it's going to work. But MSG put together some solid arguments, great points to why to give this thing a chance, what opportunities it provides for a lot of amazing athletes, what it means in the television markets, things like that. So give that a listen. Again, that is on the Smack Attack, just recorded this afternoon. It should still be up there. If not, make sure you're always catching us live for those. But you can listen anytime at channelattitude.com. $5 face up for less than I think like $4.99. You get the entire catalog. You can go back and listen to all the content from the Hamin Media Group, from our headline shows, of course, all the locker rooms. Well, you got our review shows. I Like It Raw, Next Level, the Impact Attack, the Wreckage, and of course, Smack Attack. Okay. Well, he's actually derbying down. Trying to get a hold of old friend, the good Dr. Man Beast. He is there in the Louisville area, so he's out partying down. Him and his family having a great time. It is funny, though. obviously we have a lot of fun with it when we're talking wrestling, the size of some of the guys today. So, but this is pretty funny because you see the correspondents from NBC doing the interviews, mostly female, but they're like towering over these jockeys. A great shot here, group shot of the jockeys. I wonder what the average height. Let's look that up. Average height of a jockey in horse racing. Again, hey, today's winning jockey, they get it's negotiated in their deal. You know, the better you are, the higher you're going to get here. Anywhere from 5 to 10% of the total pot's going to go to that winner. So last year, a max out for the winning jockey 2024. He got 10% of it. So just for the race today, he earned $310,000. So we got the average height for a horse racing. 5. All right, let's see. Holy crap. All right, AI, give us one. The physical characteristics needed for jockeying are specific. Jockeys are typically quite short. Professional average height of around 5'1". 5'1" for the jockeys. Man, that's unbelievable. That's freaking short. 5'1". Damn. It was funny because you see them next to their wives, and these wives are towering over these beautiful, beautiful women. Look like they're towering over. They're probably over like 5'5", 5'6". You know, an average height for the female there is just in comparison to the jockeys. Again, about 30 minutes away. 30 minutes away from this thing. We talked about the traditions. So the drinks, the eats. Let me look at some of these cool names here for these horses, man. The ones I really like. Citizen Bull, jockeyed by Martin Garcia. That's a cool name there. That's a 20-1. American Promise by Nick Jarez. 30-1 there. Ooh, the Burnham Square, 12-1. Brian Hernandez Jr. The Flying Mohawk. I like that name. I like that. That's 30-1. I might have been doing a little throwing down on the Flying Mohawk. That's a good one. Sandman. I don't know. You just the ties. If you love Metallica, you're going there. But just with the wrestling ties. Jose Ortiz. Ortiz, you know, great wrestling name. 6-1 for the Sandman. Keep your eye out there for the Sandman. Owen Almighty. Aver Castellano. 30-1. Castellano on going to be taking the reins there. Handling the whip, if you will. Some of the standout names. If anybody joining us here in the chat. Oh, Colin. Yeah. Way to go out on the limb there. Mr. Wysong joining us. He's got the money on a horse to win. Well, I hope you're hungry. So maybe we get like maybe it's like 3 dogs dressed as a horse in a late entry. You know, a camel gets into this thing. We got Jason Worth. Was he the owner here? Yeah, the owner of the Flying Mohawk. Or no, that's their picks. We got celebrity picks here, right? Yeah, that's what we got. Livian Dunn going with Flying Mohawk. Shabuzi went with Flying Mohawk. Chunk of Gold. I don't know who this guy was. I missed the name. Warren Moon. Chunk of Gold. The old quarterback, the gunslinger. As I said, our Grand Marshal, the most decorated American Olympians of all time, Simone Biles. She's going with Chunk of Gold. The jockey is a miniature horse on top of the racehorse. Has anyone else been getting these on YouTube? I've been getting these shorts and suggestion for full length, but these monkey grooming videos. So that's what we could do that, man. I have a monkey riding a horse. But didn't they used to do that like in the dog races? Weren't the jockeys actually like miniature monkeys or like small breeds of monkeys? Good, man. It is crazy looking at the track here. Mud City, baby. This is going to be an exciting one. This is going to be messy. And again, the strategy here, get out fast, explode out of that gate, bring that thunder, get that head start. Not just your head, but so what's behind you, what you're kicking up. You are putting mud in everyone's face. You're slowing them down. Hopefully giving yourself the distance to go that distance. 1.25 mile to the finish line. Winner this year, $5 million. Looking over from 5 to 10% to the jockey. Again, $2 million. $2 million, over $2 million in bets being placed on this thing. What do you got going on here, Colin? WTF, I got to use a whole nother app just to bet on horses on DraftKings. Oh, okay, so they've got maybe something separate. Again, if you're watching along, you're regularly to see the shots of the crowd, the ladies that are working as the correspondents here, the beautiful hats that they got on, part of the tradition going back to the first race, man. They decorate them. They bring them. Again, the dapper dandies of the Derby. All the guys looking good. No matter where you're at in society, if you are the the helping hand in the stables, or you are the millionaire aristocrat owner, you dress to the nines, you dress to your best for this. This is a coming together of all of society. Always looking good, especially the ladies with the hats there. So you dress to impress. You got your drink in your hand. You got your mint julep. Yeah, at some point you had to have that Kentucky hot brown. As you get settled in, waiting for these horses to throw down. There we go. Colin talking about the Triple Crown. Yeah, of course, this is the first leg in the Triple Crown. I know them, but I want to make sure I don't misspeak. So I know the next one's going to be coming up in a couple weeks on the 17th, I believe. But of course, it does start here. Dude, doing searches on the PC is just like pointless. You use your phones and you get like direct answers to things that you want. Yeah, so we got oh yeah. So we have the Kentucky Derby, obviously what we're talking about here at Churchill Downs. We have the Preakness. That's going to be 2 weeks later. That's what I was talking about on the 17th. And then we have the Belmont, which completes the Triple Crown. The trifecta. All right, we got the interview for the team here. It was putting over. Enter the Sandman. Griffin Johnson, part owner of the Sandman. Mr. Griffin is a social media influencer. Damn, Colin, we're doing it wrong, brother. We are completely swinging and missing. Yeah, this guy is such a great social influencer. He's got a freaking racehorse that might win the Derby here. Good looking horse. Good looking horse there. All right, they're getting ready to overlook of the grounds. Place is packed, stacked. They are ready to go, man. People are loving it. The rain is not deterring anybody. They are there for the party. They are having a blast. Good crowd. You got to believe they're beautiful weather. Place would have probably had triple-double, but still a great turnout. People having fun. Thanks to you guys joining me here. The Hamin Media Group. 6:34, still looking at 6:57 post time. You get this thing running the fastest 2 minutes in sports. We're on some social media, see what some people are talking about here. Timeline, people down there. Showing their best. Everybody dressed up, man, at different derby parties. Love to see it. Hey, there's me. There's on my own time feed. Ooh. Camp Washington chili, some delicious Cincinnati style chili. Yes, talking about those Kentucky hot browns. You know, while we're waiting here, I think I'm going to dig in because I did, man. Hey, man, bring some drink. I got me ice cold, a little refreshing Sprite. I guess out of Louisville, I shouldn't have gone Sprite. I shouldn't have gone to Coca-Cola. I should have went with a Pepsi brand product to be in the mood. But hey, I didn't let you down there. I'm not going to completely let you down. In the theme, in the spirit of everything, we got to have that here, man. I didn't know what to order in for dinner tonight. Come on, man. So what do we got? We got Kentucky Derby. So you got to go with the Colonel. We got to go with some Kentucky Fried Chicken. Finger licking, you know where it's at. Get a little taste here before we get back from the commercial. Oh, yeah. Haven't had the Colonel in a while. I've had fried chicken lately, just not the Colonel. Give it a mute here while I chill. Oh, yeah, that's the stuff, baby. Haven't had the Colonel in a while. Oh, so tasty. The taste of Kentucky as we get settled in for the race of Kentucky. Kentucky Derby in about a half hour away. You know what? It's heartbreaking. So we got the Yum Brands base down there. They have relocated the headquarters from KFC. They're down in Louisville, but they are relocating the headquarters for KFC over to Kentucky, or not Kentucky, to Texas. What the hell was that all about, man? It should be like criminal. Taking the K out of KFC and putting it in Texas. Hold on a minute here. What's Colin talking about? Needs some connection for the cattle. Because I see Zane saying, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, should have been raising cattle and horses a long time ago. So, Zane, what are you asking here? How does what work? The raising the cattle and the horses? You don't think we could pull off the cowboy look? Some ranchers? Here we go. This had one of the guys today. This will be his 14th time. Has 0 wins. That's the most without wins. Appearances without wins. Here come the jockeys here. The parade of, that guy's a giant. He must be like 5'3". Again, we checked it out. All right, this is a little comical. I'm sorry if it's insensitive. But again, shit. That guy's playing center for the jockey basketball team. He's in at 5'4". But the average height for a race horsing jockey, 5 foot 1 inches. How does that work? Eating chicken and it's not KFC out that way. Mine's KFC. That's exactly where I got it from. The Colonel, baby. Right up the street, man. I also got these things too. I got those put away for later. I don't know why I didn't grab them. They're upstairs. But they are deep fried mashed potato and gravy bites. Well, mashed potato deep fried inside, and then you dip it in the gravy. So they're poppers. Mashed potato poppers is what they're called. So I just brought some chicken down for the show. All right, jockey's making the way out, man. I'm sorry. It's kind of funny here. You got to, one of these guys is going to walk away with well over 300,000 for this payday today. The bonus for winning this thing. Tremendous lives, gorgeous wives, beautiful families, professional athletes, and they can't even get on the rides at amusement parks. On the teacups, the bumper cars. Too short to ride. But they're going to mount up. They're going to pony up. Cowboy up here in under a half hour to get it done. $5 million on the line. 5 to 10% to the jockeys. $200 million being wagered around the world here. All eyes, especially here in America, the sporting world, on Louisville, Kentucky, Churchill Downs, 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. Getting some last minute for Coal Battle. That's Simone Biles' pick here, our Grand Marshal. Getting some last minute shoe work done. Mentioned, that's very important here, especially we talked about the terrain. Absolute mutter, baby. Absolute mutter out there. So we got the Professor in the house. Professor, you sit by the computer, man. I can shoot you a link if you want to come on and talk the actual race here with me, man. Very cool. Everybody getting excited, getting nervous, I'm sure. The anticipation. This is what it's all about. Years and years. The training. The prayers. The vitamins. Render judgment. Talking to the owner trainer there. Looks like probably the owner. They're getting set. Jockey there. Anxious to get going. Very cool. If you're joining us here, want to know where to watch along NBC Sports. Let's send one over to you, Professor, if you're available. Speaking of that, brother, to the Professor, happy birthday, man. Hope you're enjoying your day, man. Partying, having a good time, spending it your way. All right, man. Again, they continue to bring it back set here. We're getting those final touches. They were able to take the horses out for the walk. See how they're going to react to the track there. Again, changing. Very different strategy here with the weather conditions. Hey, but they're ready to go. Hey, we're going to get it done, get it in either way here. Wonder what pro wrestlers would make good jockeys here. But now we got to know the height thing, though. So, heck, I mean, that's still like 80% of the AEW roster, right? You got to be, their average is 5'1", so they're right around. They're in that wheelhouse. There we go, Simone. Riders up with Simone Biles coming up. Our Grand Marshal, her and her husband there. I believe he's still with the Bears, with the Packers. I know he's still in the NFL. They were interviewing them earlier on. Simone's got her mom that helped raise her. Simone actually born here in Ohio, but relocated with her grandparents down to Texas, I believe. In Texas, but that's where she, learned the sport of gymnastics, and the rest was history there. She has made incredible history, the most celebrated, decorated, not just Americans, but Olympians of all time. She's looking good. She is psyched to be there, but her mom, grandmother that was with her, very emotional. Tell them this was a dream come true for her. She says she's watched every year, watched from home, never really imagined she would be there or be this involved with it. So it was cool to see that payoff for her. Very, very cool. All right, guys, we'll run down some of these big names again. We know who you like. Get out there. Still time to place those bets. We're about, 14 minutes away from this thing. Citizen Bowl. Lopez. Final Gambit. The American Promise. Admire Daytona. Luxor Cafe. Journalism. Hopefully, they say true journalism's dead. Hopefully not the case there for this journalism. 3-1 odd. Burnham Square, 12-1. I don't know, man. I'm liking this one. It's at 30-1. I love that Flying a Mohawk name. We're gonna keep our eyes out. Keep our eyes out for Flying Mohawk. East Avenue, 20-1. The Publisher, 20-1. Tistastic, 20-1. Representing the Judgment Day. This who McDonough? He'd probably get up there. Liv, she could jockey a horse, right? She get up there and ride it all day long. Render Judgment, 30-1. Coal Battle, 30-1. Enter the Sandman, 6-1. Eyes on the Sandman. Severity is 5-1. Chunk of Gold. A lot of the stars root for Chunk of Gold. 30-1. Long shot there. Owen Almighty, 30-1. Some of the big names from the horses that are going to be in the lineup there. Right? Cliff on it, man. Let's get this race underway. Throw Braun Strowman in the race. Okay, I got it. Now, do we have someone else that was featured Endeavor? Do we have someone else in mind that would jockey for Braun Strowman? Maybe Dakota Kai. She can mount up on that Strowman pony. Oh, more good stuff here. I hit my chew button. Instead of my sneeze button, I got my KFC chew button. Damn, that's good. Oh, the long Shotzi. Hey, that's a good one there, Scotty. Hey, and that is breaking news. Shotzi not released, but informed and now being reporting that they will not be renewing her contract. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do a little sound here. We got Simone. Woo! Riders up, baby. Sports fans in the state of Kentucky been waiting for this moment. It is Riders Up. All right, know what that means, baby. Pony up. Giddy up. Here they come.
It's unfortunate. You'd like to see a fast racetrack. Derby's already the ultimate stress test for these horses. This just adds more stress. Look, the very best horses can do it anyway. Justified when they won the Triple Crown 2018.
Look at these. I mean, beautiful creatures treated better than these are these horses are like the equivalent of American royalty. How amazing they are treated. And as I said, outside of the $5 million for the owners, the teams to win this thing, the big money comes in the breeding rights. Yeah. It says you were hung like a horse. Hey, you got big payoff for some of that horse juice coming. Hey, Liz, joining us. Thanks again. Back again, Liz. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun here. Oh, beautiful horses. All right, well, Liz, I know you've been getting dumped off on there in northern Ohio. It's still raining up there. We're on and off here in southern Ohio. It looks like it's drying up there. Oh yeah, Scotty, you got the sticky. That big money and glue too. Dog food and that sticky, that glue. Hey, that's another thing to look at, and hopefully we don't see any major injuries for any of these horses here in this mutter. No harm to the jockeys, anybody, especially the horses. Look at that. All right, we're getting the grand horn. Excitement, the anticipation, you can feel it resonating across the grounds there at Churchill Downs, through the television screens of coast to coast, border to border, around the globe. We're almost there. It's about that time, the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby from Churchill Downs. All right, we got the tradition here. The University of Louisville Marching Band and Choir leading those in attendance with the always popular rendition of My Old Kentucky Home. Very emotional time in the stands. Riders up continuing to make their way onto the track. Oh, that's shade of crowd, people. They love this part of it. They'll be shedding a few tears. The great University of Louisville there representing the band and the choir. See some of the jockeys showing some emotion, just happy and proud to be here in this moment. Dreams coming true. And for one of them, the grand dream's going to come true, to claim this crown. All right, about 7 minutes away. Everybody, still time to get those bets in. Colin, did you do anything? Did you end up getting anything in there, man? Any trifectas? Did you box anything? Did you go with any of those long shots? Again, what this represents, the dapper dandies, everyone dressed to the nines, looking amazing. Coming together, a society, if you are the humbled, stable hand to the millionaire aristocrat owners, this is a time of togetherness, equalness, everybody coming together to celebrate this great sport. A coming together, the sport of horse racing here, these beautiful, majestic athletes that are the horses themselves. The jockeys here, and just to tame, not tame, but lead these magnificent beasts in their quest for this grand championship. Some of these horses here getting a little antsy. You get them out here, they know what they're here to do. They are ready to go. Want to take care of business. You got some that are just calm, cool, collective. It was that final gambit came in out there looking cool. The American Promise. That beautiful all brown. I got Admire Daytona's be going into the 641 to 1 odds. Yeah, we'll go with the recent ones here. Admire Daytona in the 6 spot, 41 to 1 odds. Luxor Cafe, 8 to 1. Joa Mario. Journalism, 7 to 2. Your favorite to win this. Umberto Rispoli. And Umberto and journalism, get it done. Burnham Square. Brian Hernandez Jr.'s 18 to 1. Scotty, he's getting that bets in, baby. Got 3 different bets in here. The Flying Mohawk, 26 to 1, looking good. Little antsy, little anxious, ready to get it done. Notice that long shot. It's got to come with that anger, got to come with that energy. East Avenue. This one's just cool. Got its head down. 40 to 1. All right, get ready to smoke them. The Publisher. 31 to 1. Number 13, The Publisher. Oh, I might have gone with that one. That was my number, 13. Like the name The Publisher. Tis-tastic in the 14th spot. Hey, that is the jockey that I believe that has the most runs without a win. Render Judgment, represent the Judgment Day, 15 in the 15th spot. Coal Battle, 26 to 1. Coming out of gate 16. At 17, enter Sandman, 5 to 1. Watch that bad boy. Smoking and drinking all night. Severity at 9 to 1. It's going to be in the 18 hole. 27 to 1 odds. Chunk of Gold. Jareth Loveberry. Mountain Up, Chunk of Gold. All right, how about this is 20? Owen Almighty. This pony is ready to run. Very antsy, getting sideways, wanting to get after it. Baeza bringing it up to the 14th spot here. All right. They got about half of them full here. Little race 151 to get it done. Elizabeth going with Tistastic. Liking that name, huh? Liking the name. The Tistastic. I do like that one. There's a couple of them. Journalism 7-2. Both the horse and the jockey looking ultra determined there. All right, we got it. Looks like our final break. We're going to come back. They're going to finish them getting staged up. And it's going to be gate time. Out of the gate, the fastest 2 minutes in sports, Hamin Army. Hey, it used to be my nickname with the ladies. The fastest 2 minutes in sports, baby. Mount up. Bang. Boom. Bang. Thank you, man. All right, let's go on with her. She goes with her heart. All right, so she does both here. She got the heart and the logic going. Her bestie is a big race fan. All right, so who did the bestie say? Was who is our expert bestie? Who is she saying put the bet on? Who's her pick? Yeah, we know you've got Tistastic, so we're gonna keep our eye out there. All right, for those that are here, throw out here. Who should we keep our eye on? Who are you liking? All right, I've got it down, man. You know what that wrestler wants to say, Sam, but I'm going to say I'm going with the publisher. I like the publisher. I know Liz got Tistastic. All right, so your friend Liz's inside tip here. We got the trifecta, the 3 to 6 to 8. We're going to keep an eye on that. Scotty, you got 3 different bets, man. What's your favorite? What's your favorite horse of those bets? We should be getting set here as they come back. It is 6:57. That means we are on that post time. They're getting them set, getting those final advertising dollars in. Hey, I do appreciate everybody for joining us. So some quick plugs here before we get to the excitement. I know coming up later on tonight. Let's go, Brandon. After Dark, HMG After Dark's going to be doing some Lucha Underground watch along. So that should be pretty cool. You check that out later. I think he's got those set for about 10 p.m. Of course, back at it, Jimmy T. Arguably the hardest working on-air man for HMG. Him and the vet are going to be back with the Wreckage. Him and vet, I think they do the same amount of shows. But hey, the 2 hardest guys. Again, Jimmy T and the vet. The Wreckage covering all of your AEW for the week. You've got your locker rooms. Here's the Monday, the Wednesday, the Friday. That is the big news that the Wednesday locker room is recording Tuesday nights now live on the HMG channel. We've persuaded them to come on over. Colin, I think you're a regular there. The Wednesday locker room. Love that show. Great insight. Good times. Good laughs. Of course, I Like It Raw, the review shows. I Like It Raw, the Impact Attack. Next Level. The Smack Attack. The Wreckage. Of course, you can also catch my new little specialty show, the 10 Count, with John Paz from the 2-Man Power Trip. Hey, John Paz, man, just did a spot with Disco and Conan on Keeping It 100 and Joe over there. Great conversation they had. They were talking about where the Bloodline ranks amongst those all-time great storylines. Fun conversation that they had. Of course, Ben, a regular over there as well. You know, they call Ben in when they need that deep thinker. They need someone to set them straight. So you know what that means. When you work a podcast with me, that opens up the doors for you. Paz and Ben, both regulars over there. You know, it's me. You get that RBV rub. You go on to some bigger, better things there. All right, we are getting close here. Refreshing Sprite. Cool Crest, the lemon lime flavors. Yeah, I'm right. It is lemon and lime. I thought that was it. All right, we're getting that height package here again. The 151st running. Think about all that history. How long back that goes. All the great traditions that they have here in the magic that is celebrated here, that resonates here, touches coast to coast, border to border, around the globe. An amazing event here. Hey, we are picking up in our viewership. People jumping in here with us now to check this thing out. There we go. Zane Fish is also, man, also getting that 100 run. Whew, look at that sky. Sun's starting to set there. Got this grandstand lights on. Look at that track. Dude, look at that mutter. That's like a little kid's dream to get out there and flop around. Mud ball fight central. Again, the strategies here as we come up on the gate. We got a mile and a quarter to go here. The fastest 2 minutes in all of sports. Strategy here. Get out of that gate. Explosiveness. Give yourself that early distance. A lot of power out of that gate. Not because what's ahead of you, but what's behind you. And that's people covered in mud. You want to be kicking that all up, causing the slow down. JB, our handicapper extraordinaire, joining us there in the chat, saying journalism or Sandman to win. We got our eyes on those two there. All right, we got 20 horses. You can see them there on the screen looking at those odds. Your favorite journalism, that's 7 to 2. Sandman 5 to 1. Luxor Cafe 8 to 1. Severity 9 to 1. I don't know, all those favorites out there. You look at this. You got to go with those names, man. American Promise. Gotta love it, man. All right, our handicapper extraordinaire, JB in the house, going journalism, Sandman to win this thing. If you like the long shot, JB saying Citizen Bull. This is just where you can feel that antsiness, that anxiety starts to sit in, ready to go. All right, Sharon, you talk about some of these horses and their relatives to the success that they've had. We're going to keep it in the family. Maybe a little repeat here. Come on here. Let's get them gated up here. We had long enough. Severity 2 wins, 2 seconds in 5 career starts. There's Sandman. Named for Enter Sandman by Metallica. Look at that coal color, too. What a perfect look for the gimmick. All these horses, these jockeys, man, they look absolutely picture perfect right now. Clean as can be. That's about to change, baby. That is about to change. Look at that track. Puddles. Mud and puddles. We're going to look at some of the big owners here. The wheelers, the dealers, the big dogs. It'd be like JB. You got the schmucks like me out there in the mud. JB up in those grandstands, up in the owners' boxes. Whining and dining, big fat cigars. Cristal. The finest in catering. All right, JB, he's got the Exacta box. He did journalism, Sandman, and Citizen Bull. Built a 60 on that. Exacta. Get your ass in there. Come on. Come on. I ended up with 21, and we are off and running the fastest 2 minutes in all sports. The explosion out of the gate. Seeing somebody, they are making their way towards the inner part of that track. That mad rush is on, fighting for that position, talking about that breakout advantage here to get that early start. Use that power, fling, use that turf to the disadvantage of everyone behind you. This is a dirty race, no pun intended. That's what it's about. Now we're starting to separate each other out through this first turn here. Round that bend, here we go. Citizen Bull leads the way at 13-1 odds. No question, 242-1 odds. Oh, and almighty in the 3 spot. You see East Avenue making a move there out of that 12-hole 40-1 up into the 5th spot. American Promise into the 3. Number 5 taking the pass there on Owen Almighty, the 12-1. American Promise jumping into that 3. Look, it's the 42-1 holding on in the 2 spot. Citizen Bull still, though, at about a half a horse of distance in the lead here, 13-1. But wait a minute, here comes the 2 horse making that charge. Now we have got 4 of them bunched up. Our top 4 bunched up there. Starting to take a commanding lead. That we've got 2. What do we got there? All right. Again, he's holding on. Citizen Bull, American Promise. Owen Almighty makes a move up. Here comes Chunk of Gold, looking to make a little noise. One of the celebrity favorites picks around another bend at 3/4 of the mile of the way here. Yeah, we get that spread out before we get the grouping back on that turn to put on that stretch. We've got 3 pulling ahead here. Looks like it's going to be a 2-man show. Wait a minute. We have got a kick here coming up on the outside. Can't see the number on the horse, but they're not going to be able to get done. 18, 8, and 2. Looks like the finish out of the 18 spot. They are celebrating. As long as that stands, everything holds up. It's going to be your big winner here. What a finish. Well, heart is pounding, adrenaline going like crazy. Congratulations. Verity, the official winner at a time of 2:02:31. As long as that holds up, he's going to review everything here. Sovereignty with your unofficial winner so far. The owners, the family, very excited. All of the emotion here from the jockey. He cannot believe it. He's just looking up to the heavens, thanking the great almighty, not the horse, the Owen Almighty, the great almighty for the big win. What a run. Out of the 18 spot. Look at him covered. All right, so we got our break. The unofficial results again. Sovereignty was a 7-1 out of the 18-hole. A run of a 2:02:31. Journalism, who was a favorite, 3-1 in at the 2 spot. Beeza in 3rd. Final Gambit in the 4th place. What a run. Again, it was about getting out early. That strong start. Look at the horse's face, covered in mud. They're going to enjoy a nice bath, warm bath, scrub down, getting ready to stud. Going to get that big price there for that studding fee. Sovereignty holding on. Journalism made a big kick there at the end. We get the replay here, checking it out there, how that exactly went down. making that run from the outside, just separating it out. Look at that beautiful, man. There's strides there. Almost like it's not even touching the ground, just floating above the mud. Very emotional here. Very, very cool. Let's get that horse a bath now. First Kentucky Derby win. All right, very, very cool, guys. Hey, I want to thank everybody. A little fun hour here with you. Very blessed, very fortunate to be spending evenings here hanging out with you guys. Absolutely love the Hamin Army. You don't understand how important it is to me. Thank you guys for all the support on all the shows. Again, later on, let's go, Brandon. Going to be watching a little Lucha Underground. That should be pretty cool. Check that out. Jimmy T and the Vet going to be back at it tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, talking all things AEW. JB, congratulations to you. I think you're New York sports fans. Your fandom confuses me. But I'm pretty sure you're a Knicks guy. I know you're a Mets guy. I think you're a Knicks guy. That's what it is. Anyway, congratulations to the Knicks on their big win. Rooting for you guys to take down Boston. So, the OHIO, the Cavaliers, can whoop your ass in the Eastern Conference Finals. But we do got some big games in the NHL and NBA tonight, so be sure to check those out here. Catch all the content we're going to be talking about those. Sports headlines, all the news from around the world, man. That's what we do here at HMG. Thank you to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here. Have a wonderful evening. Be safe out there. And I'll see you on the next go-around here. Hey, as always, I'm sure most of you have, man. Smash that subscribe, but always share the content. Let people know we're here. Spread that good word about the HMG. I thank you guys. I love you. That's it for me. It's me, that art of the B2B, Richard Bronson Vickery.